Commissioner.
All right, we're back in session. We'll go ahead and have the deputy clerk swear in everyone that is going to participate in an 11 a.m. hearing.
Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that any testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Mr. Price, you're up first. So, go ahead and have a seat, and I'm going to go through what we're doing here.
Okay.
Under Idaho Code 63501, the Board of County Commissioners are required to convene as the Board of Equalization. We are here to determine market value under Idaho Code 63205, which states that all real, personal, and operating property subject to property taxation must be assessed annually at market value for assessment purposes as of 12:01 a.m. of the first day of January in the year in which such property taxes are levied. Furthermore, under Idaho Code 63502, the function of the Board of Equalization shall be confined strictly to assuring that the market value for assessment purposes of property has been found by the assessor, and to the functions provided for in Chapter 6, Title 63, Idaho Code, relating to exemptions from taxation. The taxpayer shall have the burden of proof in seeking affirmative relief to establish that the determination of the assessor is erroneous. A preponderance of the evidence shall suffice to sustain the burden of proof. We are here to discuss the market value of the property, the condition, the state, or information that is relevant to this topic. This is fact, not opinion. We are not here to discuss taxes, past grievances, policy, personal income, or other issues. If you do not stick to the discussion as requested, your time will be reclaimed. The process is that you'll be given 3 minutes. This white light will come on at the beginning of your presentation. When the yellow light comes on, you have 1 minute left. When the red light comes on, there will be a beep and you're over. The same as with the assessor's table. We'll ask some questions.
Yes.
The board will make a decision. The process, the rules are be kind. Direct all questions or comments to the board. If your conduct gets out of line, you're going to get warned once. If it continues to be out of line, you'll be asked to leave or escorted out of the facility. So, state your names and your time will begin now.
I'm Bonnie Price.
Ron Price.
Your time.
I'm not quite sure how we're supposed to address this for sure. I wish somebody could come to the house, but we can't do that.
Not at this time. It can happen later, yes.
We just
What do you want? I don't know for sure how you want me to plead our case. Like, there's several things that need done to the house. I don't know if this has anything to do with things, but it would as far as what the property's worth. It needs a new roof.
Yes.
It needs all new carpet.
Paint.
Well, we have the
Siding.
siding problem that we're going to have to deal with. And so,
Cement work.
yeah, so is that kind of what you guys want to know?
That's a condition, yes.
Okay. It for sure has to have all new carpet and a new roof, and yes, some siding work done.
Okay.
And if somebody needs to come out or whatever, I didn't know for sure what you guys wanted.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Could I say one more thing? Maybe
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
not important. There's a lot of people in our area that are on fixed incomes, and wow, when it goes up like $300 or so a month, that's a big deal. And I just wanted to say that.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Any questions about what they just said? Your 3 minutes begin now.
Subject properties, it's 676 Lemhi.
Yes, ma'am.
We have it showing as a 2-story.
Yes.
On about a
Okay,
quarter acre.
she's talking to us.
Oh,
This is
sorry.
us, right here.
Okay.
Built in 1999, has approximately 2,048 square feet above grade, 1,228 in the basement with 921 square feet finished. It's currently assessed at $459,861. When you take out the extremities, it comes in at $127 per square foot. Just a few comparable sales that would be similar to the subject is at 1991 Sunrise Way. Also a two-story home, 1993 build, has 1,995 square feet on the upper above grade. 964 in the basement with a full finished basement. It's sold in July of last year for $405 with time adjust be $435. It's coming in at $120 per square foot. We have 522 Michael Avenue, about quarter-acre lot, two-story home, built in 1992, 2,099 square feet, 1,150 in the basement with 1,150 finished. Sold in October of last year for $474.9. With the time adjust would be $490, about $493. It's coming in at $126 per square foot. And then comparable number 3 is 2420 Coleman. It's on a quarter of an acre, two-story. It's a 2004 build, has 1929 above grade, 1,000 in the basement with 1,000 of that finished. It sold in June of 2021 for $485,000 with the time adjust would be $527,000 roughly, and it's coming in at $151 per square foot. So bracketing them in those cells, they would be right in the middle of all those cells, and with the maintenance issues, they'd probably be all similar where they're similar year built. So I just ask if the value of $459,861 be upheld this time.
Any comments or questions about what she just said?
No, I didn't really get all what she said.
She's talking about
So, I guess
other
she's
properties.
right, and I guess you're
So what she did is there was 3 other properties that they compared yours to.
Right,
In square footage?
yes.
And how much per square foot?
right.
And like I say, yours was 127, there was a 120, there's a 126 and a 151. So in that same area,
Okay.
the square footage, the houses look a lot similar, and the land's a lot similar. And that's how they make their comparisons across the board. Any other comments, commissioners?
Well, normally I go after land values and stuff like that if they're too high, but like your lot right now, what we're seeing is your lot's inside of everything else in those neighborhoods. We just had one in here on Michael earlier today. We've talked about a bunch up on all over the hill up there, and you're sitting at $77,740 on the lot value. I don't see a drastic. It's not out of whack. The size of the house on the improvements. Yeah, we might have a roof or condition, but if it's set in an average condition, I don't think that there's a drastic change on that. I mean, yes, it's an eye-shocking thing when you see a price change, but all of those houses in those neighborhoods, as soon as they go up for sale, they're sold in a bidding war, and that's the problem. Is your house is based upon the market value of everything around you.
Well, maybe a few months ago.
Well, and
It's
we're
definitely
looking at
changed.
January 1 to January 1 of last year in this time frame. We're not looking at today.
Uh-huh.
And even today in this stuff right now, you're still seeing some stuff. So what I'm saying is you got hit in the middle of this, and so I don't have a reason, cause, and believe it or not, we actually, if we can find something to help and fix, adjust, we will. And I don't have anything outside of the ordinary that's here.
Using my 3 internet sources, taking the average would put it at 479. So if anything, I would say you're a little bit below market at that point in time. So
Well, the house right next to us just sold. We're not positive
I
what
think
it
it was
ended up going for.
Upper like 490, I'm guessing, something like
that would
that.
reflect what I'm seeing here.
And they've completely redone things before they sold it.
Yep.
Okay, this discussion now is right here, okay?
Oh, okay.
I don't, without having like a bid on a roof or some pictures, stuff like that, I don't have anything right now to overturn that. But that doesn't mean you can't do that at the state, though.
call for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move on parcel number RPRPHL 2001000, that we uphold the value of the assessor at this time.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we upheld the values, but you have the ability to go to the state for an appeal or to the district courts, and so does the assessor's table. So other than that, I would consider that your hearing is over. Thank you.
What happens if we would sell the house and it comes in at a lot cheaper, because things could go crazy in the next couple months, you never know.
Then whoever you sell the house to would bring in the price that they paid for the house, or that it would be set at that for next year.
You don't get your taxes back, though,
Nope, under
that you're
state law,
assessed for.
under state law, you're in the past, is how they look at it.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You bet. Mr. Potter.
How's it doing?
Good. Go ahead and state your name, and then your 3 minutes will begin.
Name's David Lynn Potter. Okay, I live in between Lava and McCammon. You got my parcel. But it's a early 1900 section, railroad section house. It has it doesn't have footers on the concrete like they used.
Is it earth and wood? Is the house is sitting on the dirt?
No, it's got concrete, but it doesn't have footers. One side's under the ground about 6 inches, the other one's 2 foot. But it's been there since the early 1900s.
Okay.
It's still got the old wiring in the attics and the walls.
Knob and tube?
Yep. Because we haven't had a chance to update that. Plus, our service needs to be updated, our electrical service. The back porch is unfinished. The house is settled in all different places. The center of the house sunk down. In the kitchen's up, but it's just I'd say it's a 1900 house, old section house. And when I appealed it 3 years ago, nothing's changed since we did that.
Okay?
And then I was curious, like my carports, were they not permanent structure? Or are they still appraised on being a permanent structure? You know what I mean? They're staked down with one
Yeah, but
stake.
you didn't pull a building permit when you built it, did you? Because they're not a permanent structure, because they can be moved.
Yeah.
They
They
should,
do put value to those.
they shouldn't be though.
Well, a lot of people are using them as hay covers and stuff.
Well,
now,
I know,
so
but
we
the problem
do-
is they're not considered a part of the
Neither is a
property.
shed.
They're not on a foundation.
Yeah, there's a shed, and we put value to sheds.
That's true.
But
Well,
it's
it would
movable.
depend on how you would. It would
We put
depend
a
on.
nominal value to it,
Okay,
like.
but so you're not,
800
that's what I was getting at, you're not assessing the square footage like.
No.
Okay, like a built down.
No,
Okay.
I think we're still actually valuing them close to what they were a few years ago when we first originally got some pricing.
Okay, so it's a nominal value, it's not you're not giving him a carport value for a built carport,
no.
you're giving him just a, okay. That
So
answers.
can you send me that price? So you're charging me for that part?
Okay, we don't have a conversation back and forth. Everything right here?
Okay.
All right. Any questions?
No.
Your 3 minutes begin now.
In looking over just a few sales, I didn't really want to go into Lava where he's not in the heart of that. So I kind of stayed to Downey, Ingham, McCammon area to find something similar to your built. Difficult for a one-level home with 1,008 square feet like his is. We do have some sales. There's one in Downey that has 1,144 square feet. It was built in '67. It sold for 155. Time adjusted would be 176. It doesn't have a garage. It just kind of has like a little carport off the side, like, you know, just it's more comparable as far as that goes. Comparable number 2 is in Ingham. It has 1,040 square feet, built in '76. It does have a small garage. It's sold for $169,900. Time adjusted would be $193,261. And the third one is in Downey as well. It's 960 square feet, sold for $169,900. Time adjust would be 201 because it sold in October of 2020. As far as price per square foot, his is at 123, comparable number 1 is at 120, comparable number 2, 123, and comparable number 3 is at 172. I think he is more fit to be closer to comparable 1 and 2, but in value-wise, I mean, the condition, I think we've adjusted in the past for condition on this property. I remember speaking with him a couple of years ago, but it has been, probably been a couple of years, so I don't.
So you have a
Other
well
than that, I
and
would
septic?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And the comps are in town?
Do you have contiguous property? Do you have other parcels around, or is it just this piece of property?
Just that piece.
So it's a 0.4 acre parcel?
One's a country property inside
And
Dillon.
it's
Okay.
25 feet from the railroad tracks too, or 25 yards.
Commissioners?
So, again, if you have 6 inches of concrete on one side, you got a little bit different issue, because anybody starts poking around that, and they won't lend on it for most of the stuff. Your land value, I'll just tell you, your land values are changing, because people will always buy land for land. But your improvements I have an issue with. Me personally, I'd probably say take the land value of this year and the improvement from last year.
I'd be comfortable with that. With
I mean,
knob and tube
I mean,
and
not-
location to the.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we adjusted,
Okay.
your land is the 53,000,
Okay.
but we went back to last year's value of 101. So we knocked 35,000, 34,000, almost 35,000 off of
it's
it.
about 154.
And like I said, did we vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I get busy here. But anyway, we adjusted it, and you have the ability to appeal further, and so does the assessor's office.
Okay.
All right,
Right
thank
on.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, sir. Have a good
Appreciate
day. The final victim of the day,
Not
or
today.
of the hour. I was getting excited there.
So we went back to 101.
Hope you brought your A game.
I'm getting warmed up.
All right,
Back to the 101.
go ahead and state your name, and your 3 minutes begin. Make sure you keep the time going.
356.
From Brandon, people can take notes.
This is the official one.
Matt Curbs, thank you. I'm familiar with the statutes. I'm familiar with market value. I know when we get the assessment notices each year, it's fun to see, in looking at it through a different lens, taxable at 100% of market value. And I know a lot of assessors do this, but 100% isn't found anywhere in statute. It's just market value, right? 100% indicates that there's an actual definitive number, an absolute number. We're all aware the housing market has increased a lot over the last years. I'm no stranger to that. And if I were to ask the board or the assessor's office the trend of the market in each of the previous last years, they could probably tell me, and they're well aware. They could give me that more number supporting their assessments. And my home, I love my home. I love my piece of property. I had it built, finished in late 2019, moved in. It's got finished square footage on the main floor of 2,139 square feet. And the kicker, obviously, that I put in my appeal form, it's 1 bedroom. I think there's a ceiling on 1 bedroom. There's a trajectory that's followed, but it's not going to be the same trajectory. And if you want this supported by actual evidence, we've had 2 certified appraisals done by licensed appraisers since we moved in. One when we got our certificate of occupancy and moved our construction loan to a mortgage in December of 2019. And the other one we refinanced when the rates went down in January of 2021. So that would be indicative of the change from 2020 to 2021. Those 2 appraisals were within 0.5% of each other. And the second one was actually 0.5% lower than the first one. So it shows me that it didn't follow the trends throughout the county. It's a 1-bedroom home. They have a ceiling. I know we look at January of each year for the assessment purposes, but I mean, hopping on Zillow, I can find, there's now 3 houses that I saw on the market, but 2 of them are a lot lower income, 1-bedroom. There's one you can build per specs, a brand new build that starts at $540,000. So I mean, I love our home. I know it's got nice finishes. It's got good square footage. I think we have 0.65 acres. I wish we didn't have the last south half, 0.15 acres, because all I have to do is water and mow it, and it's not useful to me at all. But I own it. I get it. I got to pay my taxes on it. So I have a tough time arguing with the appraised value of the land. I bought it in 2018 for $88,000. I'm sure it's gone up. My problem is with just the total value and where the market has gone. When I saw my assessment this year, and I don't have current appraisals for neighbors this year because I hop on the parcel viewer and obviously can't see. But in comparison to others, I had a tough time arguing last year because of the value. But anyways, I believe the preponderance of the evidence shows that a one-bedroom home in my price range wouldn't follow the trajectory of the market, and I'm asking for a $580,000 valuation.
Questions about what he said? Your 3 minutes, 30 seconds, begin now.
The property sits at 1380 Stacy Court. I did check the neighbor line values for the ones that have similar sized lots. This is the neighbor's 1380 Stacy. They have the same land value because they have a 0.67 acre lot. At 1384 Stacy, which is also a neighbor, they have 0.66. They're also at 135,200, both of those. And then the smaller lots that are 0.38 are at 109,850. For a couple of those, I just pulled a couple that were the same to make sure that they were all being assessed similarly, and they were. So, the subject property is at 1385 Stacy. Does sit on 0.65 of an acre. We have it as a one-story home built in 2019. He already stated the square feet. Sorry, 2,123 is what we show on the main. 2,327 in the basement, with 233 of that finished. He's currently assessed at 690,809. Gosh, I can't even read you. Pulled in a few comparables just to see how they would look against this property. 1474 Stone Ridge, one-story home, just like the subject. Was built in 2007, has similar square feet, 2,129 on the main, 2019 in the basement. It has a little bit more basement finish. At 1930, obviously, sold for $662,500 with the time adjust to January 1 would be $712,000. There's also one on Mariah, 2073 Mariah Way, a one-level home, 2021 on the main, 1955 in the basement with 196 square feet finished. It sold for $582,900 with a time adjust would be $619,000. And comparable number 3 would be 1353 Remington. Closer size lot, 0.41, one-story home, 2,199 square feet on the main, 2,199 in the basement with all of that being finished. Sold for $717,700, and time adjusted would be $775,000. So in looking at those, it looks like he would be closer to like the mid-range on those, between the time adjusted sale prices of $775,000, $712,000, and $619,000. So I just asked that his value be upheld at this time of $690,809.
Comments about what you said?
I understand you're comparing square footage and sales. I just, based on the appraisals that I got and just based on what the market looks like, one bedroom finished, that's going to limit the market unless my wallpaper is gold and you can scrap it when you buy it. I think the market for a one bedroom home, to find a property that it would exchange hands between a willing seller under no compulsion to sell and an informed, capable buyer, one bedroom
Okay.
in that market.
Okay.
So, question. You built this house. Your basement is not finished.
Correct.
So I go downstairs. Okay, we're gonna have this definition. Don't, I'm not trying to be silly, but it's we walk down the stairs and you either turn the light on with a switch or with a pull chain. What are we doing?
It's a switch.
Okay, and then around the walls, do we have sheetrock or do we just have vapor barrier?
Vapor barrier,
Is the ceiling sheetrocked or is it open?
open,
Okay, so there's no sheetrock finished area in the basement then?
correct.
Okay, so there's some nominal value that's there. So this is my thing, and this is a good example of a house that somebody had the intent of building. Did you have the intent of finishing the basement?
Someday, but to say the intent.
When it
before-
was built?
No,
So when you built the house, did you have the intent, did it matter then what the upstairs cost to build the house because you're not finishing the basement? I'm gonna get at this, where I'm going here in a second, and I have a point to make.
did it matter what the upstairs cost? Yes.
Well, I mean, but if you had to make a bigger square footage. So, well, the point I'm making is there's a house down the street that's for sale for $665, but it has a smaller footprint because they have a fully finished basement. If you have X amount of dollars and they have X amount of dollars, and you're just building what you want, and you have your footprint costs more to build. If I'm building a bigger footprint, it costs more. That's why a ranch typically costs more. That's why people finish basements and put it underneath, because you're getting the build out. Yes. Are you right? Yes and yes. But there is some yes, because this is going to be weird. And so I have two things here that I beat on horribly bad, and one's the land value here of $135,000. We've already adjusted a couple of them down to 90 and 84 in this area. And then, like I said, with the one bedroom and how it goes, there was some prior knowledge of conversations with the appellate before in 2019 when he was building his house. I remember having a conversation talking about we're not finishing the basement. So there's a reason of why if you're just going to build a house and you're not going to put any money into the basement, you can make a bigger footprint. That's the whole problem you have here. And so if you finished the basement of this house, yeah, I think you definitely warrant. But looking at the 690. I don't, with only one bedroom, that is the limiting, that is a functional, it's not, it's a factor of obsolescence that goes into it. Because with only one bedroom in the house then, you're buying it very specifically. So I get that. But I still think that there's, you know, that would be the discussion. Is it the 585 that's being asked? Maybe a little higher. But,
What was
you
your,
know.
what was your 2020 appraised value that you said you had?
The 2020 appraised value?
Or what,
Sorry, the January of 21 was our last one,
okay.
532,000. And that was a 0.5% decrease from the previous year.
Jeff's doing math.
If I time,
Timing it right.
if I move that forward, then look where the assessor's at. But I also look at Zillow and look at the one that is out there, and Matt is correct. That matches. Do you have something, Juanita?
You have a motion?
Hold on. Whoa! I hit a button. Yeah, you don't want to do that. I put an exponential factor on your, you don't want an exponential factor, do you?
So I don't think so.
Hold on.
Are you time adjusting the appraisal? Is that what you were doing?
I did.
So, for me, the first thing is we have a land issue up there that we've already adjusted. So I would drop the land value to what we've already done in that same neighborhood, because we had that house on Shadow Pines on the first day that we dropped to, I think it was 84,000 is what it was at. And then there was another one that was up higher, that was the bigger one, that was at 90. We did. So I would do something on the land.
Take the land back to last year's value, or even go below that?
I'd go below that. Shouldn't have been sitting there. I don't know why the appellant didn't go fight. That's what I would have fought last year, was the 100,000 on the land, but that's a different story. But yeah, that's what I'd do.
So what number are you putting on the land, you think?
I would put 90 on the land is probably where I'd go. Because the Shadow Pines was a smaller and against the ravine, and this one's probably a, yeah, so like I say, I'd say 90 on that. And so if you put 90, if you went to, did you have a number on the improvements from last year, if you time adjusted them?
If I time adjusted the improvements from last year,
And add me some land in.
we're over 600 again.
Yeah, I came at 640.
Yeah, if I time adjusted his appraisal, it's at 659.
I'm gonna get it to 640.
Go for it.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move on parcel RPRPJR10000500 that we adjust the property value to $640,000 with the adjustment coming off of the land.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So, we've adjusted it down, and you still have the process of the state or the district courts. All right.
Ooh, would Brian have to go to district court?
No, it would be Lanita. She's like, I'm not going over. Oh, district court, yeah. Yeah, it would be Brian.
The next is Dwayne Sudwick.
Thank you, ma'am.
And he was unable to attend due to a funeral.
Yeah, him, well, two of them.
Yeah.
So we'll just go through them, look at them.
All right, which
I
one?
did adjust Dwayne pre-BOE in office when we spoke, down to 579,774 on parcel RPRRSTR000200 for 2476 Cimarron Circle.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we accept the assessor's recommendation.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Darren Sudwick's.
I don't see any adjustments made to his. We had made adjustments in prior years for finish, and I'm not sure if it's still in the same state or if he's made.
You guys got anything on that?
Completed anymore, so.
I didn't. Mr. Chairman, for parcel RPRRSTR000200, I move we uphold the assessor's value.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All
Did you
right.
read in Dwayne's number?
Yes, that was Dwayne's number. That was what's
We
listed.
were doing Darren.
Or Darren. Oh, hold on. Sorry. I
We
thought
did
you
Dwayne
said.
first.
I thought you said Darren. My bad.
You did Dwayne first, and I
Yeah.
read that in, and then
Hold on.
you went to Darren.
Let's do that backwards.
On Caribou.
Sorry. Hold on.
It's an R4013 number.
Yeah. So we have. So Darren is the one we need right now.
Yes.
So, Mr. Chairman, correction, I would move on parcel that we disregard the former motion and uphold the value on parcel RPR4013052700.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The next one we have is Catherine Silver.
And we have her at 314,474. And when looking at the sales, I think she's right where she needs to be. So I would just ask that we uphold that value.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move on parcel RPRPGRA004400 that we uphold the value.
Yeah, we have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we'll be at recess till,
No, till
It's-
the board,
it's
this is the Board
oh,
of
yeah, sorry,
Equalization.
for the executive
Mr.
session.
Chairman, I move that we exit out of the Board of Equalization.
we have a motion. All in favor say aye.